Good morning. I'm Supervisor Kathryn Barger, Chair of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors and also representing the 5th District. On Wednesday, August 12th, just after 3:40 p.m., the Angeles National Forest and Los Angeles County Fire Department responded to a reported brush fire located near Lake Hughes Road and Pine Canyon Road in the Lake Hughes area. As we all witnessed on that first afternoon, the lake fire was fast-moving and tenacious, fueled by unforgiving terrain, burning 10,000 acres in just under 4 hours with minimal wind conditions. Over the next few days, the lake fire continued to grow as firefighters remained focused on a structure protection and perimeter control to gain the upper hand on this fire. As of this morning, we have over 1,800 personnel assigned to the lake fire, which has burned 18,526 acres and is 31% contained. With over 4,500 structures still threatened, evacuations remain in effect, which the Sheriff's Department will address today. Despite the fast-moving fire, our Sheriff's Department personnel successfully ensured the safe evacuations of residents. While evacuation orders remain in place, with the current conditions, we are going to be closing the Highland High School evacuation point as of noon today. Anyone who continues to need Red Cross assistance can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. That is 1-800-733-2767. However, this incident remains dynamic, so in the event of additional evacuations are ordered, the new evacuation point will be established quickly and will be communicated to the public. I would like to thank the Sheriff's Department along with our residents for quickly evacuating and for their continued patience as our firefighters work to ensure your safe return home. Those with the Department of Animal Care and Control have also done an amazing job assisting the residents, who I'd like to offer many, many thanks. Finally, I'd like to express my gratitude to the U.S. Forest Service Chief Robert Garcia, the Los Angeles County Fire Department Chief Darrell Osby, CAL FIRE, and all of our firefighters, law enforcement partners, and all the assisting agencies for their commitment, as there have been many days behind us, but many days ahead of us to go. This fire knows no jurisdictional boundaries, and as we combat together under a unified command, neither do we. Meeting under these circumstances is never ideal, and I want our community to know that they are not alone as they plan for how to rebuild and where to start. We are encouraging our residents to participate in the community meetings this evening at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. Again, we will be having a community meeting today at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. The county's Office of Emergency Management will be on site, offering local assistance to lessen the immediate and long-term burden felt by our community members. As a reminder, all of our residents are required to wear face coverings and follow social distance protocol while on the grounds of the fairgrounds. Face coverings will be provided for those in need when they appear at the fairgrounds. My office will also be following up early this week with information regarding virtual linkage to services being coordinated by our Office of Emergency Management. Here, residents will connect directly to multiple providers via Zoom. COVID has certainly changed our way of life, and we are being reminded of this each and every day. I encourage you to remain hopeful during these challenging times and wish our firefighters health and safety as they continue to serve our community. Know that you are very much appreciated. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Charles Navarro. I'm the District Director for Congressman Mike Garcia. And unfortunately, the Congressman has just returned back to D.C., but he wanted me to be here today to express his sincere appreciation and gratitude to our frontline workers, all the firefighter personnel that have responded throughout the state of California and through the neighboring states as well, all the way to Texas too. Thank you to all the PIOs who have been constantly in contact with our office, keeping the Congressman informed about the situation as things are happening on the ground. We also wanted to make sure that the public is aware, as the supervisor has expressed, please contact the Red Cross if you do find yourself in the pathway of this fire or in any need or assistance of services or resources in the local community as well. Again, the Congressman stands ready to provide assistance when necessary and when appropriate, and thank you all.
Thank you, Supervisor Barger and representative from the Congressman's office, Charles Navarro. I appreciate the support. Just wanted to start out by, the framing that Supervisor Barger shared about the conditions we faced when this fire started on Wednesday afternoon. And if you recall the first evening press conference and the next morning with Chief Osby and I really shared what the potential was of this incident, and we're seeing that play out. This fire started with some explosive fire behavior and moved into an area that was going to be extremely challenging for us. Not only the fuel conditions, but the topography, what we described has been playing out over the last 3 days. And I also shared that we brought in a federal incident management team to assist us, a Type 1 incident management team. So I want to extend my thanks as over the last several days since they've taken command, and you'll hear some briefing from them on where they are with that. But as they took command, they really helped to stabilize the situation in terms of planning, long-term planning, managing resources, and supporting the ground troops. We entered into Unified Command with Los Angeles County Fire Department early on in this incident, and we remain in Unified Command with Los Angeles County. And I also want to say thank you to the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Los Angeles County Sheriff Department, and the California Highway Patrol as we set the tone early on with our unity of effort in a unified command, all these resources to meet the needs of the incident, regardless of jurisdictional boundaries. That includes resources for evacuations, road closures, aircraft, ground crews, bulldozers, and all the support that it takes to support the troops on the ground. As you heard, the number of firefighters here now is about 1,800 personnel, and that takes a lot of effort to support them. We'll continue in Unified Command for the foreseeable future. As I shared on early in this incident, the long-term duration and the long-term nature of where we are in terms of the scope and scale of this incident, we will remain in this posture, and we will see progress as we have over the last few days. I would also mention the activity we've seen in not only the Southern California area with the high temperatures, but specifically on the Angeles National Forest. As we manage this incident, we're also still responding to new initial attack incidents. And shortly after we briefed this team here, the Federal Incident Management Team, we broke the fire over on the east side of the Angeles National Forest, the ranch fire. And we can address some of those specifics as well, but that fire is showing great progress. We're about 2,500 acres. We have crews working in very, very remote areas. We've exited Unified Command as a threat to Los Angeles County, and the local responsibility area has diminished. However, Los Angeles County Fire Department still remains a partner in assisting us with resources, CAL FIRE, and really the mutual aid system from throughout Southern California to support these incidents. As none of our agencies can support a long-term incident within our own jurisdictional resources, our mutual aid system is as robust as anywhere, and it's being very effective with ground crews and aircraft. So thank you.
Chief, are we going to get any fire information? Yeah. I mean, we've had all politicians. That's what people are tuning in for. Coming up. Thank you.
We'll get there, Steve.
You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Rick Young, Incident Commander of California Incident Management Team 5. Currently, the fire is about 18,500 acres, 31% containment. We saw some pretty significant fire growth on Friday and Saturday, and fire behavior moderated a bit yesterday, allowing our crews to get in there and increase our containment number. All fires are challenging. This one's especially challenging given the hot, dry conditions and the rugged, roadless areas we're dealing with. In addition to that, we're dealing with fuels that haven't seen fire in a significant period, leading to a very decadent understory and a forested overstory, which lends itself to long-range spotting, further hampering containment efforts. We are committed to taking all actions necessary and appropriate to contain this and minimize the threat to the community as quickly as possible. And our highest priority right now is dealing with those areas of fire that are going to allow us to lift the evacuations and get people back in their homes. I would like to thank, right now resources, as Chief Garcia mentioned, resources are stretched thin around the state, And we benefit from the relationships we have right now with Los Angeles County Fire, CAL FIRE, and the Forest Service. The cooperation and coordination with those three entities have been huge in supporting our efforts in getting resources and suppressing this fire. And in conclusion, I just want to, and on behalf of California Team 5, want to offer my sincere appreciation to the brave men and women that are currently out in some very tough conditions trying to keep us all safe. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Darrell Osby. I'm the fire chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. First, I would like to just thank the Honorable Supervisor Barger, one of my bosses, for coming out this morning and for her support. In addition, the collaboration as it relates to being a unified command with the Forest Service, LA County Fire, and the Sheriff's Department as it pertains to this incident. It was already mentioned as it relates to the acreage and the containment, so I won't repeat that. I will say that during this incident, we've lost 12 structures and 21 outbuildings. Since the inception of this fire, just to give an overview, is that the Los Angeles County Fire Department, along with the Angeles National Forest, the fires in the forest primarily, but we respond to mutual threat zones. So this threatens both jurisdictions. And so we've been here since the inception. As it relates to our partnership, local government, i.e. Los Angeles County Fire Department, is primarily responsible for the structure protection within the Angeles National Forest. I will say that although we've lost 12 structures and 21 outbuildings, ultimately in this footprint and the surrounding areas of the fire, we have approximately 4,000 structures at risk. I did take this opportunity with two of the incident commanders from Los Angeles County Fire Department, Chief Ewald and Chief Pena. I went out and saw firsthand what our firefighters are doing as it pertains to structure protection 24/7, day and night. And what I will say is that for the people that lost their structures, our hearts go out to them. But I will tell you that my observations of our firefighters, not just from Los Angeles County Fire Department, but from all the firefighters, they are doing things to protect and save structures in a way that I might not do to save my own. So my hat goes off to them as it relates to their commitment to this fire. As mentioned earlier, we do have other fires in the region. We have the Ranch 2 fire in San Gabriel Valley. In my jurisdiction, we've had several other starts in San Gabriel Valley, Diamond Bar, a couple in Malibu. So our troops are spread thin as it relates to trying to get resources all over to protect the county of Los Angeles, while at the same time we still have over 1,200 calls that we go on every day as it relates to other emergencies. One of the challenges what we are having, and it's not just on this incident, but it's a statewide incident as it relates to getting enough hand crews here. As you can notice when you see the copters or aircraft dropping retardant in water, it's very important that we have firefighters and hand crews go right behind them to get containment. And that's been a challenge in this incident, but it's also a challenge throughout the state of California, but our firefighters are doing the best they can to maintain this fire. In conclusion, I do have a copy of our Ready, Set, Go program, and I talk about this every time I speak, and I'm not going to quit talking about it, but it just talks about personal preparedness as it relates to your homes, particularly as it relates to defensible space. When we have these types of incidents, we cannot put a fire truck at every house. So it's important that you have defensible space that for some reason there's not a truck at your house that it can withstand a wildfire, or if there is a fire truck available, that our firefighters can get in there safely and extinguish the fires, number one. And then number two, I just saw on the news, unfortunately, for whatever reason, some people didn't have insurance, and my hearts go out to them and that dynamic. But this is another opportunity to really check your insurance and to make sure that you are insured for your home and your belongings. You can go to our website at fire.lacounty.gov to get more information as it relates to personal preparedness here in this region. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ron Schaeffer, the captain of Palmdale Sheriff Station. The evacuation area at the beginning of this operation was very effective in designing the area that needed to be evacuated to deal with the fire, and as it grew and it has ebbed over time, it remains Lake Hughes to the west, Ridge Route to the east, west of Lake Hughes Road, east of Ridge Route Road, north of Pine Canyon, and south of the 138. The fire department can talk about the dynamics of the fire and the heat and how that plays with how they have to plan for the fire. Our personnel are continuing to scout the areas surrounding that in case there is a need to expand the evacuation area. And again, the heat that we're experiencing this week, last week, is very unique to the fire dynamics along with the fuel. As mentioned, the evacuation location at Highland High School will be closed at noon. It appears that the AV Fairgrounds is going to be designated as new evacuation area both for people and for animals. We've only had a couple of people take advantage of the evacuation areas on a temporary basis, and we're continuing to monitor that and make sure it is secure. We've had a department-wide response from all of our patrol stations throughout Los Angeles County. We've also had the support of our Emergency Operations Bureau and our Communication Fleet Management Bureau to assist us with managing this incident. Sheriff Villanueva was able to come down here and personally travel through the evacuated area, the fire area, and he sees the devastation firsthand. He has also seen the Herculean effort put in by everybody to combat this fire and contain it as quickly as possible. As the containment increases, we can start having those conversations about repopulating. It's premature to talk about repopulating right now, but that is a constant conversation. We want to get people back into their homes as quickly as possible. Palmdale Station is unique within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, with the majority of our personnel actually living and working in our station area, and as a result, we do have personnel who are personally affected by this fire. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all those who are touched by this incident. We're in constant admiration of the work that the fire department is doing and all the personnel that you see here working on this fire. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Rodriguez with the CHP out of Antelope Valley area. Last week, when we started receiving calls on the fire, our officers responded, set themselves up in appropriate areas to close down the roadways to help keep people from entering the fire area. Since then, we've been in a supportive role. We have certain closures in place to keep people out, and making sure all fire equipment and other personnel, emergency personnel, can access to the fires. So far, right now, we have a few closures. One, we have a 3 Points Road from SR 138 to Pine Canyon Road. We also have Old Ridge Road closed from the State Route 138 to Pine Canyon Road. Pine Canyon Road itself is also closed from Old Ridge Road to Lake Hughes, and Lake Hughes is also closed from Newvale to Ridge Route. As of this morning, San Francisco Canyon Road is opened up. It was closed for a few days. It's opened up again, and people will be able to use that road now to travel.
Thank you. That concludes the formal portion of the press conference this morning. We will be able to take some questions. Please wait as the PIO comes around with a microphone. With that, go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question, please. Right up front, Mark.
Hold on.
Hi, I'm curious with the weather conditions today, what we might see as far as fire behavior and activity, and where.
I see.
Well, the weather's going to get a little warmer and drier over the next couple of days. Part of the problem we're having is this continued instability that keeps coming in and kind of getting things riled up a little bit in the afternoon. The thing stands up and moves. We didn't have as much yesterday, and that's why we had huge success. Today we are going to see a little warmer, and so that potential exists once again. So the next several days, I'm hearing until about Thursday, do we get any kind of change? We're going to be seeing this persistent, warm, dry, potentially unstable air.
Can you tell us just a little bit more about the staffing? I know there was a mention of the hand crews and just trying to get enough folks out here with these weather conditions. If there's a potential more fires or trouble, containing them over the next few days with these conditions, just tell us a little bit more about the staffing and if you expect any trouble getting more people in over the next week.
Well, I can tell you we have outstanding orders right now, but we're doing a lot better than a lot of other fires in the state that don't have resources. I'm getting calls from other ICs all day long wondering if they can borrow stuff. And we're pretty fortunate here, and a lot of that has to do with that relationship that's already established between LA County, CAL FIRE, and the Forest Service, being able to leverage that relationship to keep our resources. So we're actually doing pretty good. We got 21 hand crews assigned currently and 149 engines, and 10 helicopters. So we're doing a lot better than some of the other fires in California.
Who's in charge of the investigation now? The red tape that was around the area, presumably the point of origin off of Lake Hughes Road. Who's in charge now of that?
As I mentioned on Wednesday, we assigned, with all fires on the National Forest, we assigned a wildfire investigation team as part of initial attack. And that group, just like the incident command system, expands as needed. And so that team has expanded over several days. And as we interface operationally with our unified command partners, that investigation team also conducts interagency investigations. So representation from local and state government looking not only at the incident but the impact to their jurisdiction, and they'll determine whether or not they'll play a permanent role on that investigation team, but it's ongoing.
In regards to lightning strikes, are we expecting any more lightning strikes as the week or weeks progress?
Well, because of the fire activity we had the other day, we had about between 50 and 100 north of the fire the other day based on our fire activity and conditions there. Most of that lightning that's predicted for the state is going to be north of us. Northern California is going to get hit really hard. And the problem that's going to cause for us is that's going to be that resource drain we're going to be fighting against. So I don't think lightning is going to be a problem for us. I mean, the lightning itself, but it is going to put a strain on resources moving forward.
You were talking about you've got 10 helos right now. Where are you getting the scoopers from? Are they still here?
They are still here, and they were flying all day yesterday, and that's one of those resources the other ICs are hitting me up wanting to get, and we're holding on to them for now. Where are they based out of?
I know the Canadian contingent isn't here yet.
Yeah, that's correct. So there's two CL-415 on federal contract, call when needed contract. They came in on Sunday out of Bakersfield. That's where they're operating out of. And we have what we call a total mobility, particularly in fixed-wing aircraft. And so, again, as we break new initial attack fires or some of the other ongoing large fires, the mobilization system on a minute-by-minute basis is reevaluating incident priorities. And so should we break another initial attack, just like we have over the last few days, we focus our ability on trying to catch those fires early. So the aircraft we have now may be quickly diverted to catch a fire and keep it small, and then brought back. And that has been the case over several days. In fact, that has been the success of us catching several of our new fires over the last few days, most of which did not make any kind of news attention because we were able to pick them up really quickly.
All right, that'll conclude the question period. If we have any Spanish media that needs one-on-ones, we have a Spanish PIO that can take those afterwards. Thank you.